let's call this meeting in order. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Alrighty, number 3, any citizen desiring to be heard. Hearing none. 4, consideration of possible action on approving minutes for September 15th, 2017.
So I'll make the motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, open seal bid 2018-7 for one or more 2017 or newer tractor and consideration and possible action on awarding said bid.
And that's the 10-wheeler, right?
No, actually,
This is the,
that's not gonna be an issue.
okay,
So, this is for the truck tractors.
okay.
However, so that the board is notified, purchasing office just received a FedEx envelope marked containing bids for bid number 7 and 8, which was the tractors and the dump truck that I forgot on the agenda, but it ended up not mattering. This bid closed at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Therefore, it is from Oklahoma City Freightliner. They didn't even send it till the 14th. It was just received, therefore it must be rejected. It wasn't received in time, so the board is aware. We have 2 bids. Bruckner and Summit Truck.
Smith Truck Group bid on a 2018 Mack, total price $69,437.61 with a monthly lease payment of $1,262.09 at an interest rate of 2.35%. $1,262.09.
At what percent?
2.35.
Okay. And I've got, what is that, 64,000? Oh, okay, cash. Price of new truck, $103,400, but then the payoff $64,000. So we've got a $54,000 monthly payments at $957.92.
What brand of truck?
That's Mack trucks.
So that one's got a balloon payment at the end of it? Is that what it's
No, we've got, well, yeah, it is a payoff, I think.
Yeah.
We've got to get
They were bid 2 different ways.
over the. Okay. 57,000. We've got a, okay, 2.4%, $922 cash price. New tractor, $103,400, $52,000 each. I think I'm gonna need to table this and look at these. $1,011 per month at 2.4 on 103,000. That's for the third.
table to the 29th.
Yeah, that'll work.
Alrighty, number 6, consideration and possible action on awarding bid 2018-6 paving of Indian Meridian Table September 5th, 2017.
All right, commissioners, we've had a situation arise with these bids. You opened these bids on the 5th of September. After they were all opened, we became aware that Atlas Paving was in fact not at the right time for the required pre-bid conference. Based on Lowell's opinion and that of SA&I, their bid is rejected. So we have bids from Haskell Lemon and TJ Campbell.
Troy, if I may, the board needs to reject that bid officially, not.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
So, I mean, it's
So whether
not
you want to
something-
do it in two separate,
We most always take the recommendation of our ADA and the auditor, but it is the board's decision to do that, right?
It was a
So
suggestion.
I so move we reject that bid
I'll
based upon.
second that.
okay.
I mean, it's not on the agenda, I don't know how we.
Well, it's part of awarding this bid and so I mean, it's all part of it. We can't, it was opened as part of this bid package.
Right.
It's not eligible to be awarded to. We didn't know that at the time it was open.
So what say you, Michael?
Oh, looks like all we're gonna be able to afford is 3 inches laid in place. And the low bid on that would be, what was that? Would be, I believe, Haskell Lemon at just under 144,000.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, the motion carries.
Okay.
Anything else there?
Nope.
Alrighty, number 7, consideration and possible action approving an agreement with ODEQ for funding of Environmental Crime Enforcement Office. Sheriff, what you got, brother?
Trash cop? Trash cop. A couple months ago, one of our staff submitted a grant to the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality to see about getting funding for a environmental deputy, as they like to call it. Sounds a little better than trash cop. The award was granted. Now bring it before the board for you guys' final approval to start doing this program. The total award was $45,000 and some change for a salary, for equipment, and some PPE equipment for the deputy. I appreciate if you guys would approve that.
So is he gonna try to catch him in the act?
Both, we're gonna, there's a couple things we're looking at with this. Naturally is the investigation of illegal dumping, but also the cleanup with our inmates. We're doing kind of a chain gang type crew. When you guys have a trash dump somewhere, you call us, we try to investigate to find out, the people that are responsible for it. If we can't, then we haul it off.
Damon, your deputy came out to visit us
Yes.
yesterday. I was very impressed with the program that he described, and I'm really looking forward to working closer with the sheriff's department and the deputies on cleaning up our roadways, because we've had a lot of trash dumped out here, and it's good to see that. We've and also made him aware. He looked at our what we call the eliminator. We've got a grapple built on the back of an Army deuce and a half. You can pick up washers, dryers, that heavy stuff, couches.
We'll be definitely in contact with you.
And each of the, I think each of the 3 road districts also has a roll-off dumpster that we make available to the people that live in the community to keep them from, to help keep things from being dumped. So I think there's room for all of us to work together to make this better. I really appreciate you guys.
A lot of it too is going to be educating the public on those dumpsters being there, and we kind of look. We plan on taking kind of a aggressive approach to educating the public on those dumpsters being there, and that we are going to be out there, investigating these trash dumps. And if we find somebody responsible for it, they're going to be liable for the pickup as well as a criminal charge.
He just did one for me, I appreciate that too.
I move we approve.
Oh, second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, motion carries. Number 8, consideration of possible action on approving ODOT claim assignment to Coatesville Service.
Hopefully this is the last one.
Luther Road.
Last one. I will make the motion.
Second.
Oh, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
I was Dave, and their boss. I was thinking about donuts and stuff.
Who've been talking to that sheriff?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey, you think sheriff ain't doing that? He's not even here to defend himself. We had a big pile of debris someone dumped on the side of the road the other day. I sent the sheriff a text, and a day later he sent me one, said he'll have it cleaned by 4, so.
Wow.
Number
That's
9, consideration of possible action on approving ingress and egress agreement with Jerry Burkhart for his property in the Northeast Legal.
Yeah, this is, I thought we're gonna do some, we're gonna clear some trees on the county right of way. It's one of those roads over on, the west side of Highway 74, one of those dirt roads over there that it's just kind of been ignored and it's overgrown. And the people that need to get their farm equipment in and out, they can't get a 20-foot header on combine down that road. And so we're gonna go over this fall and clear that out. And this landowner's allowed us to use his property to pile it up, and they'll take care of the disposal of those trees and such.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. 10, consideration of possible action on approving 17-18 contract between Logan County Health Department and Mercy Hospital for X-ray services.
The red tab is all 3, and the blue tab is just the chair.
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. While we're signing that, I'll go ahead and start reading 11. Someone's lengthy.
I got long-winded, I apologize.
Now,
Discussion and possible action concerning accepting donation of $52,080 from Spring Event Center to Logan County District 1. Is that good enough, Marvin?
Yes, sir. I'll go ahead. We've got the Spring Event Center over there is on Simpson Road between Santa Fe and Western. That's one of our dirt roads that are left over there, or gravel roads that are left over there. That event center does a lot of high-end weddings and that kind of stuff, and the folks that come in from that are complaining about getting dust and rock bites on their car from coming in. Anyway, this event center has agreed to provide the funds to buy the asphalt that the county will just lay it, and we're agreed to do that from Santa Fe over to the Chisholm Creek Bridge, which is almost exactly a half a mile. We haven't received the check yet, but what I would like to do is the event center owner said, and don't laugh, the check's in the mail. You laughed. Okay. But what I'd ask the board to do is to approve this contingent upon the county receiving the check this next week, if that's all right.
I'll make the motion.
yeah, I'll go ahead and give it a, because it'll have, it's actually a resolution
Right?
for that, so I'll go ahead and I'll set aside a number.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
It's awesome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. 12, consideration of possible action on appointing requisitioning officer.
I have none on that, I do have one on 13.
13, consideration of possible action on receiving officer.
And this is for the election board.
Make the motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Well, I heard your wheels turning, Troy. What?
Well, no, Mike had actually asked me a question about his bid and the encumbrance of that. Let me throw this out there because I know you're gonna need to know this too. We actually have to draw up a contract. They're gonna have to bond, receive that's not gonna happen immediately. It's still gonna be a few weeks out because the contract has to go to them and the bonds have to be received back to us and it has to be approved by this board. So it's a couple weeks out from being a move ahead.
Okay.
14, consideration possible action on approving the following temporary road crossing permits.
It's really difficult with just the legal descriptions on there to figure out where those are at.
They should have a map on it.
I see.
They're in District 2.
Yep.
Well,
I've already
No,
gone.
18-4
Some of them.
is gonna be District 3.
so this is.
The
next-
Chisholm Oil and Gas is District 3.
This is the next agenda item.
I see.
They were just stacked together. I think the temporary is in District 3.
17-15-1 and 17-53. So on the One Oak, they're gonna split. District 1's got the first two District 2 has those first two listed.
Yeah, the one, those I could read because I know where Forest Hills and everything.
And those two are one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, not Anderson Road.
No, the first two listed there would be District 2's and the next two
I
are
see.
District 1.
I see. Yes, ma'am. That's where I read it too. I move we approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 15, consideration possible action on approving the following permanent road crossing permits.
I move we approve those four.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Sixteen, consideration possible action on consent agenda items.
Payroll. This is a transfer for you, so I need you to sign there as well. Give me checks.
had city employees on our payroll.
They're reserve officers. The sheriff has determined that he's paying his reserves.
I understand.
That's cool. Just good.
Wondering. City employees on salary, how that works. That's just a conundrum I'll have to figure out on my own.
Business must be good. That old sheriff down there in Cleveland's having some issues.
The last 18 months have been pretty rough on sheriffs statewide.
I think you're right.
I like that highway cash. That'll help pay that mile of Waterloo Road where that's going.
The north side?
Well, Edmund and I, the city of Edmond and I are actually gonna mix
Oh, wow.
our money and do it all in one project. As soon as they have their town council meeting the 28th of this month, as soon as they get through with that, then Troy's gonna help us try and get all the contracting stuff out and get it done so we can get that finished this year.
Use the fancy paper for it.
Fancy paper. And the large print on the instructions. Why? Yeah, that mile between Kelly and Santa Fe,
Mm-hmm.
it's
There you had your washout area?
no, actually that was the next mile down
Okay,
where we had,
yeah.
but the road itself on that washout area is not so bad. But between Kelly and Santa Fe, it's starting to get traverse cracks in it, and it's got a bunch of, it's just starting to go away. And we don't get it covered. It's
Just beyond the sealer?
yes, yes. But that's kind of been a joint project as far as figuring out the engineering and the cost and all that stuff and how to do it. It's kind of been a joint project between Oklahoma County, the city of Edmond, and Logan County. We've all three been working, trying to get that thing fixed. remember. Never mind. Never mind. I'm
House closed. They ran out of lines on that one.
I see.
Hot in here to you guys?
Nope.
It was chilly earlier. It's warmed up a little. Yeah, it's still, yeah.
I just don't
Are you
like
with
that
the fan?
on. I prefer to go.
Must have been.
All the smoke in the
He's been out fighting fires, hasn't he?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'd send them a bill for that.
There you go.
I guess you can pay it and they can reimburse you. Ain't that the way it works? Makes a good paper trail, David.
Can't believe our emergency manager be laughing at the chairman of the board here.
Send it to me and I'll be happy to forward it on.
No, you pay
He's just
it.
the middleman.
You get reimbursed.
I'm just the middleman, I'm walking on the fence.
I tell you, during that middleman thing.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I ain't gonna let him get through half of them.
Getting there.
What's his fuel for civil defense? On the blankets.
He's buying fuel from fire truck.
Who's the civil defense? That's, I guess,
That's me.
oh, okay. Why do you need so much fuel?
Just put it in the county truck. I go to different meetings.
All them pancake eating contests, or what is it?
They can fill up my dozer.
Yeah.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, the motion carries. I think we're ready for 17, consideration and possible action on approving claims for payment, September 2017. While we're initialing this, if the board don't mind, I'll go ahead and skip to our addendum. Item 2 on it, be consideration of possible action on approving resolution adopting the Logan County Hazard Mitigation Plan. David, if you want to start.
Yes, sir. All right, so this is the final step in our mitigation plan. If you guys might remember back, I believe it was in November, had Matt Rollins from OEM come. We, as the county, had signed a contract with the vendor to do our plan about maybe 3.5 years now, but there was no money available. I know we, as the county, didn't have $50,000 to do our plan. The state, working with FEMA, came up with a template that cities and counties could use to do their mitigations plans. We will be the third, as my understanding, will be the third county in the state of Oklahoma to have a FEMA approved plan following their template per se. FEMA has approved the plan. The very last step in that is you guys adopting it. One of the deals today, adopting it today, Crescent School District is in the process of doing a mitigation grant for a safe room deal. So hopefully you guys will adopt it today. I will email this to OEM as soon as we're done, and it is supposed to open the door for Crescent School District to start their process as part of their bond that they did a little over a year ago. But it's just the very last step in the process of getting our plan approved. We were very grateful. I was afraid we were going to run into some issues due to Hurricane Harvey. The FEMA lady that does this had been pulled out, but under the circumstances, she was able to review it again. The end of August, they made, believe it or not, they made a couple of changes that they wanted to see made to the plan, FEMA did, and so we got those, working with OEM, we got those fixed, and the plan is done. It's just awaiting the very final step for you guys to approve.
And you did email everybody a copy?
Yes, yeah, all
I got
four of
one.
you should have received an email copy of the plan that FEMA has approved, along with the, basically our plan is ready to go pending adoption. And so every jurisdiction under the plan will have to adopt. It's just some of the jurisdictions will have to wait until October for their next meetings to be, when they have their next town meeting or school board meeting to adopt. If for some reason a jurisdiction decides they don't want to adopt, we will just leave them out and we will just go with the ones that do adopt, so that should not affect us. But I have no reason to believe that no jurisdictions will not adopt. It's definitely in their interest to adopt the plan.
I ain't saying nothing, Mom. On this.
I won't say that about this one then.
That's why I won't say it.
You was a lot closer though, yours is 89 cents.
You know, I've noticed it don't matter whether it's a penny over or not.
Over and over.
So, do you recommend approval?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I definitely do. I would ask for you guys to please approve this, please.
I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. David, thank you for your work on that.
Thank you very, very much. It's a little more than what I thought it was going to be, but I'm very grateful for
How long have you been doing
your support. And, started it in January. Really got into it in January.
That sticker, she's
Yeah.
holding it for it to be initialed on the receiving report, I think. That's what that's
Done.
done. Not for you, for somebody else. You guys are doing it just for the yellow tab there.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it.
This is the hazard mitigation resolution.
Excellent. I know it's been a long battle.
Yes.
It has been.
Many trips to OEM for this, but we'll do some updates, but we will be good for 5 years once FEMA gets our approvals from all the deals, so.
Yeah, I thought this was a DEQ deal when we first started talking about it.
You just gotta bring that up.
You were getting way too nice, so I thought I'd poke you a little bit. I think I'm done.
All right, I'll move we approve the payment on claims.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we just voted on this one, hazard mitigation, we'll sign that.
Yes, sir.
Back to the addendum, item number 1 on it is consideration of possible action on approving purchase of asphalt. Yes, sir.
Well, if I
From
don't do this.
general
he's
government
gonna
for
destroy it.
parking area in front of the educational building, fairgrounds.
reasons why. Thank you.
So, I saw this on the agenda and I got to thinking, I said, you know, the fairgrounds is part of the county, even though it's in District 3's area. it's not District 3's total responsibility to pay for all the upkeep there for the fairgrounds. I mean, we do all the other repairs out of the general fund, so I can
It's the
understand county responsibility, so
It's a county fairgrounds.
I move we approve. based
Well,
on that.
let me explain what this is. I was at the fairgrounds over last weekend at the fair, and I had a guy bring it to my attention in front of the educational building, handicap spots. They're really not marked on the ground because it's chip and seal and all the loose rocks. Well, they're having a hard time with their wheelchairs and their lifts and what have you.
On chip seal, I can understand that.
He was asking if we could pave or concrete in front of the educational building so we could paint the stripes on there. 'Cause no one ever follows the signs, so he asked me about it, so I thought I'd put it on the agenda because me and the city of Guthrie have an agreement on paving the Fairgrounds Road, which they're gonna provide the asphalt, we're gonna do the labor. And while I was down there, I was wanting to pave in front of the educational building for the parking for handicap. But now my next thing is we're building, or they have built the OSU training, ATV training center. And I was wondering about if the board would be interested in paving the whole loop around the fairgrounds so they can access that building on Blacktop.
I think we just put it on the agenda with the estimate of, what the material cost's gonna be. I assume you talked about us doing the labor and laying it down. And just, I mean, it shouldn't be that much.
Are you gonna do striping for it too? Is that part of the equation, or?
Well, I figured I'd take some inmates down there, let them stripe, or get Kenner to stripe
Just
that.
do it, okay.
In front of the fairgrounds, in front of the educational building, I'm less than $1,000.
Yeah, it's,
But to make that whole loop, I'm not sure. I'll have to measure it, and determine the width and what have you.
20 feet wide, 22 feet wide.
Yeah.
How deep we're gonna do it, that kind of stuff. I know a guy that can do that fairground pretty quick. He can almost do it in his head.
How long is it? That's my problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to be down there Monday or Tuesday. We're going to start laying the fairgrounds road. So if the board don't have a problem, I'll go ahead and do in front of the educational building and get that part over with, and I'll figure up an estimate for the loop.
Okay. Like I said, I move we approve.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Also, I was going to get with the city on the road coming in and out. I want to visit with them about making a turn lane for southbound traffic going out. Just try to ease up some of that congestion when they're having the big fairs. It's a nightmare trying to get out of there. If we could put in a turn lane going south, that would probably cut it down by 50% anyway. So. Anyway, we'll visit with them. Thank you all. 18, any citizens there to be heard? Anybody? Going once, going twice? None? 19, comments, announcements, questions by the board.
I've got a couple on, yesterday I went to the ACOG Intermodal Transportation Technical Committee. Basically what that is, that's the road committee that works with and approves our grant applications for federal funding. One of the things I need to bring to the board is that the deadline for project calls for the STP UZA projects, and it mostly affects Mike and myself because we're in that southern part of the county, is on the 15th of December, Mike. So they've got that deadline listed out there.
Gotcha.
One of the other things, we had 2 new representatives from the city of Guthrie and the Guthrie Public Works that's on that committee. Had an opportunity to chat with them after the meeting. I received an email requesting help for specifications for Sooner Road between Division and Seward. The city's looking at doing that as a project, and so we're gonna help them out. They wanted to know how the county overlaid that part of Sooner Road before. And I know we can look at specifications on what we said we were gonna do and all that stuff, but the best way to do that is take a core sample somewhere on Sooner Road of what we've already done. So I volunteered to do that, so we're gonna core sample that so they can tell how thick the asphalt is, if there was a mat used. I mean, there's people that say there wasn't. So the best way to tell what actually happened was do a core sample. And so we're going to do a core sample on our part of Sooner Road and furnish that to the City of Guthrie Public Works. And they're going to fill out a grant application at TPUZA grant for 80% federal match to get that done. And I think that'll be a great addition to the county if we can get that road fixed. That road is in terrible shape, and it's really too narrow right now. And so we'll be working with them on that. One of the other things that came out of that committee meeting, this is the road committee meeting that makes recommendations to the ACOG board on what to do. One of the things that has come up is the scoring criteria for these federal grants. The scoring criteria is going to change, and one of the things that Logan County brought up that we've been talking about for the past year is to change the lock-in for grants for the federal grant program to 2 years instead of 1 year. And that was brought up yesterday and discussed, and it seemed to be received pretty well. And even, I mean, ODOT can see the benefit of having a 2-year lock-in, especially on county served projects, because if you got a project, if we've got a project that's locked in 2 years from now, and we know that based on availability of funds, I mean, if the federal government didn't go bankrupt between now and then, that money's going to be there, and we can use only put 20% against our served issues, served projects, instead of having to do a 100% match on it, to have it on a 5-year plan. But that a 2-year lock-in will help a lot, and I'm glad that came up. That was the only recommendation that was actually talked about during this project. And then also they've asked for volunteers to sit on the subcommittee to talk about the other changes to the scoring criteria. And I got elected by Cleveland County to do that. So thank you, Rod.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got on that. If there's any questions about STPs, EA, I'd be happy to.
I think that'd be a good deal if you could lock it down for 2 years. It sure helps.
Because it changes every year. You don't know from 1 year to the next whether you're going to get funded or not.
Right.
It'd be a
Really
good
don't.
idea.
Things come out of the blue.
Mike, you got anything, comments, announcements?
Trees falling, that's it.
I tell you, I visited with Mr. Boyd Longnecker over last weekend down at the fairgrounds. I'll tell you, I bring it up today. I've been approached several times about an expo center, and what's the odds of ever doing a bond to build an expo center in Logan County. And as he brought up, it'd be a big economic boom in Logan County if we had one. So kind of want to get y'all's feelings on that. But while we're on the subject of bonds, I mean, I think we're probably 20 years behind on the county admin building, and we're going to have to do something on this courthouse type deal as well. So I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
Bond projects.
Yeah,
I'll throw you under the bus.
Wayne County, you know, their expo, they still have a sales tax. So they're being subsidized. It might have to happen on an expo if we did a bond issue and did that. I don't know that I want that. But
so we really need a larger fairground center, an expo center. I mean, the county could benefit from that. I actually believe that in my heart of hearts. I'm an old Boac youngster. I grew up in a country school. Then on the other hand, we've got a 100-year-old courthouse over there that we're having a hard time just paying to keep the walls up. We've got a 6-story building sitting right here next to us that the windows are falling out of. And it seems to me that, we can't, we're having a hard time maintaining some of the buildings we've got already. And to take on a bond to build another building and ignore that responsibility. I'm not saying we're going to ignore the responsibility, but it just seems a bit off for me to do that.
That's why I brought up the county admin building. I mean, we're gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 25 years behind time, and if we just keep putting it off and putting it off, it's just gonna
Town's
get worse
growing and the
worse.
county offices have to have more room. They have to.
Well, I mean, the last time I was up to talk with the folks in the DA's area up there, I mean, they've got boxes and boxes and boxes just stacked around, and nowhere to store that stuff. Troy can fend for herself, she's got stories too.
Same problem.
That front end for our courthouse, I mean, it's nothing that I'm ashamed of, but I don't want that on, local government weeklies magazine front either, I mean, it's not something to be real proud of.
So what do we need to do to get the ball rolling on this county admin? Or is that something y'all want to look at?
Ready to look into it, whatever.
Is this something we want to look at, or we want to just?
I think it's something we need to look at. I think the fairgrounds as well is something we need to look at. I mean, until we know what these things are actually going to cost, or a good cost
All those
estimate.
sites. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Then, I mean, it's hard to say whether or not you would support floating a bond, whether it's for, $100,000 or $100 million. I mean, the two, and those are two extremes, because we can't do anything for $100,000. I know that. 100 million is a little high, but y'all understand what I'm talking about. I know. But,
Well, we gotta bring it up though. I mean, that's why I brought it
Yeah.
up today, is I think we need to get the ball rolling on
Start
something.
focusing on that.
At least start looking at it. That's all I have.
I would throw out that this morning Jerry Stone sent out a link to an article in Tulsa World, which I'm still boggled by this, that apparently the officials in Rogers County, and that's the title, the headline says Rogers County officials, but if you read it, it sounded to me to be more coming from city managers than the county, but I think it would be county too. Anyway, they're kicking around to propose a 5 mil property tax increase to fund higher education scholarships for their residents to Rogers State University.
Gee, they got a lot of money.
I can't even begin to tell you what went through my brain with the state of county government struggling, just trying to keep insurance and necessary items, that this would even be out there to become an article in the newspaper was beyond me. But I will send you all the link.
Rogers County's pretty rich.
the Tulsa area is kind of a democratic state unto itself anyway.
I just was,
They have a penny sales tax that they've had since 1988 for roads and bridges only. So they've got
Alrighty.
pretty good infrastructure there.
Anything else? I think we covered the whole agenda. 20 would be consideration of possible action on adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.